What's up, everybody? It's GleeCon, once more bringing you our weekly installment of Lore of Final Fantasy, where we go through everything, just like we do with Lore of Warcraft, all of the currently 400 different entries of things that exist in the greater IP of Final Fantasy. We are getting close to the halfway point of Final Fantasy 1. We recently completed the Earth Crystal, and we're now about to do the Fire Crystal. The second chapter, or whatever you want to call it, is much quicker, so we often reference a guide. We're going to be going into Mount Gulg. Not a lot that we really need to mess with. If you look at the first floor, seems like it's just quick. We have to make our way over to the A stairs. You stand, every step hurts us. When we stand still, however, we don't get hurt. So, they're basically saying if you walk on lava, it will hurt you, but there are no fights. So you we'll have to make that decision. Do we go in for fights? I'd rather go for fights myself, and we'll just do lava. See, right there, we have to do lava. Okay, wait, where was it? Okay, over here. Now we gotta fight. That's not ideal. Ooh, I don't like this. Okay, so right off the bat, fighting such a big thing. I'm gonna go with Thundara, because it's cheaper than Blizzara, even though, of course, Blizzara is probably better. But these guys are just such turds. So if I use his mana, I'll actually save mana from curing Poisana in the long run. It's worth it. Okay, and that will allow us to quickly go. There's nothing else on that top floor, so that's all we had to worry about there. So now we're on floor 2. If you look at the map here, there is a floor B. Is just straight ahead, but we can skip walking through fire if we go through the maze that has all the treasure, which is actually what we want to do. All right, so if we make our way along, the first chest is actually E. So we'll go in this first door and work our way over to E. I feel like I'd rather just do all of these treasures and worry about that later. Okay, so the E chest is going to be a mithril helm. Maybe that's going to be good. We do have to take one more lava hit for that. Plus, of course, we're going to be fighting. Ow, a Hill Gigas. We've already determined that those are some feisty little... This is not a fight that I'm going to particularly be caring about, like, using magic or anything. Yeah, that's good. So the two of them have gotten strong enough with the upgrades to weapons they both recently received that they were able to two-man. Nice. Okay, so now we will certainly finish this one. Not too shabby, not too shabby. We're really coming into our own, too, so that was our second fight. We're level 26 now, which is good. It doesn't say... It says it gives us the option of skipping valuable treasure. So we want tons of everything that we want. There is a... says... Ice Brand, which we can get on this floor, helps our fighter. We can get ice... armor if we had pre-done the ice cave, which we didn't, but that will help us later on. Null Blaze will help us a little better. Alright, so remember, we're going up for E right now. We actually should have come over to the second chest. That would have been better. Ooh, this one has a set fight. Fire Elementals. Alright, this time we're going to go straight melee and just see 57 damage, 17. Okay, so... they were able to two-man it. So their speed was pretty fast. They were faster than my entire party. And we're just going to have to see. Not good. Yikes. Okay. Alright, so not ideal. But because of that, we get the Mithril Helm, which I actually think we bought ourselves one of those. Yeah, we did. Now, maybe when he becomes a ninja, he'll be able to wear that Mithril Helm? I don't know. Okay, we want this next chest right here, too. Also requires a set fight. With just a single fire elemental, I can handle that. Ooh, yeah. 6-hitter. Oh, there we go. If both of those can attack first, then we're golden. Okay. So that's 4 fights. Every 4, like usual, we'll save as we continue to read. We are going to... Oh, this is, by the way, is going to give us... Actually, I should just open the chest. 1,520. That was F. So that's good. All right, we're now going to make our way back up. We're not going to fight that. We're going to work our way left. And then if we go right... Actually, we'll go left first, because left will give us a great sword, which I think we actually already had before, too. All right, so... We're going to kind of read little bits here and there, just little paragraphs, as we read about the different... not secrets, but... We're now into the history of Final Fantasy. So let's read this because I think it's cool. Final Fantasy is described as one of the seminal games of the electronic role-playing genre, RPG. But the seeds for the genre were sown many years before. Tabletop RPGs, which entail cooperative improvisational storytelling done within complex systems of rules, grew out of the timeless practice of wargaming and were a prominent part of youth subculture during the 1970s. Gary Gygax is widely credited with the development of the first tabletop RPG, Dungeons & Dragons. Tabletop RPG is a little bit of a stretch. Released in 1974, but the ideas for this grew out of the dice rolling of a clique of wargamers, there you go, including Dave Arneson, one of the unsung heroes of RPG history. There's actually a book I read, like an autobiography of Gary Gygax and Dungeons & Dragons or something. Not autobiography, a kind of a biography of things. At the University of Minnesota, as well as the gaming conference Gen Con. Given the roots of RPGs in wargaming, it isn't surprising that in almost all RPGs, the player characters are warriors, and the combat system is often the most sophisticated part of the game. So those are 2 key things that come from being an RPG. All right, so we need to go up to the pass, make a right, and then hang as far left as we go, then go north, and then go left at that junction. Okay. Let's see if I remember anything that I just said. Nope. First, right off the bat, make a mistake. Fight 1, 4 Onkegs. Again, speak of Dungeons & Dragons, and we get a nice reference right here. The good old Onkeg, one of the most infamous Dungeons & Dragons characters. I mean, heck, just go... Oh, they poison? I did not know that. Just go ahead and... They're tough. Okay, they, anybody that's like a Baldur's Gate player, you know about Onkegs. Ooh, 60 damage. Yikes. That's gross. Okay. That one already hit us, though. Man, what? They hit her for over 100. This is a tough little cave. Much tougher than the Earth Cave we were just in. Even with our gear upgrades. We're going to need to find some more gear upgrades while we're here. Oh yeah, Gleeman gained 32 life. Agility, so he's faster with more hits. Stam, so he's tougher. Gleekon gained a level 4 HP. Agility, so he gets more hits and faster. Gleezy gained 5 HP and 18 MP and is now tougher and better at running. And Glebo, we've now got to the point where we get enough XP from the guys that he's not going to notice the lag from missing it earlier. 2 HP, 9 MP. That's it for him. Okay, so we're actually going to go left. This is our second fight. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I didn't even know he could cast. I guess he's an ogre mage. So what does that do for us? Ow. He should dodge more. I did not notice the difference in all of that dodging. I'm glad that Hyaenodon mixed. That's actually good. We still haven't had to break down and heal the team yet. I'm getting close, though. Lots of gold. These guys are so good. That's the other part of this. Doing this now is just going to save us grinding later. Oh, by putting it... Oh, good. That's just an... Okay, this is our third fight. This is not... Oh, jeez. Oof. Painful. Ugh. Okay. So there's her poison on him. Nice crit, but even with the crit, it's not... These Onkegs are too tough. Their stam must be too high. I'm glad he just didn't get insta-poisoned again. That would have been annoying. These Onkeg are annoying. Okay. Cool. And now the set fight will be our fourth one. At least it's just a single fire elemental. Come on. You need that rogue to go faster than you. Yeah. Free money, baby. Love it. Okay, so we got a great sword. Like I said before, I think that is actually not better. Yeah. We already had one. Okay, so we're going to save state here. That's my dog being silly. Sorry about that. All right, so now we're going to wrap back around, and when we go to D, we should be getting another big fat pile of gold. Then we're going to wrap all the way around and get 2 little piles of gold over here before going down into the main treasure room. After we go to the main treasure room, I think we're going to have to walk back out and then cross lava because we can't get into that last little area. But the main treasure room does have a lot of stuff, I believe. All right, let's read another paragraph. Since the same individuals who flocked to D&D also tended to be the same individuals that pursued interests in the then fledgling field of personal computing, there would inevitably be attempts to translate D&D style rule systems into computer programs. This alleviates the sometimes tedious calculations involved in playing RPGs and potentially allows a single player to engage the computer as a, albeit non-intelligent, game master. The first widely recognized development of a computer-based RPG occurred in 1980, when a Texas teenager named Richard Lord British Garriott, who had developed fantasy-based computer games as a hobby for several years, arranged for a local computer store to distribute his game Akalabeth for the Apple II. MUDs, multiple user dungeons, had existed for several years before that, thanks to the availability of modems, and terminal-based games such as D&D, lowercase, 1974, had a strong following at universities. So I'm guessing that's like text only. Also, Rogue, a text-based dungeon crawl game that has to date spawned many derivatives, also appeared on Unix machines in 1980. Rogue is also referenced pretty heavily in, I believe it's Rogue. First of all, there are spin-offs. That IP still exists to this day. But there's that game, that movie, Ready Player One, that is heavily talks about this. The sequel, not so good, but it actually gives you a pretty cool... The book was really good. I really enjoyed it. If you're interested in this type of stuff. It was also more than successful enough to put Garriott through college. Garriott would go on to create a more sophisticated game, Ultima, in 1981, which included an action element. Players had to obtain a spaceship and shoot down enemy ships, but was still an RPG at heart, as players built up their single character, uncovered clues and solved puzzles, and proceeded to the game's final confrontation with the evil wizard Mundane. Also in 1981, 3 Cornell University students had their dungeon crawl game Wizardry published. Wizardry featured first-person graphics as opposed to Ultima's bird's-eye view, and allowed players to control 6 player characters, PCs. So what you're seeing here is that we begin with Akalabeth and ultimately Rogue. Text-based Dungeons and Dragons becomes text-based single-player games, and then single pixel dot style things, and then originally the OG PC franchises, which become the OG Nintendo-based franchises, Ultima and Wizardry. I don't I've played some versions of those over the years, not all of them. Not like all of the Wizardries or all of the Ultimas, but as a kid growing up, like I think I had Wizardry 6 or something on my Nintendo. All right, so we're now going to wrap around to D. Got it. Just the whole point of this is kind of building up to what had to happen before Final Fantasy could happen. Because this is pretty complex compared to the things we've just read about. Nice single target free Ankeg for our first fight. Okay, we got a set triggered fight. Oh, or maybe this is... We could hit with some hardcore... Ouch. I don't know what would be worse on our MP, like, had I sent him against... It's getting pretty dangerous for the rogue. Oh! Homeboy got taken out. Ow. Okay. Let's have her bring him back to life. And what stinks is he's gonna come back to life with 1 HP. Don't die, buddy. Okay, now she can go... I'm gonna go Akira on him. Don't kill him. I'll heal him after this fight. That was just bad luck, too. He took 2 solid hits. Okay, we should be good now. I don't think they can do 100 damage to anybody. But that really drained her magic points. This is quite a little cave here. A lot of XP we got for that. Alright, time for her to heal up, everybody. I was playing with fire, and I got burned. Okay. Her life is astoundingly good. Compared to his trash. Now, she's used almost half of her magic already. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we got that Gil. Now we're going to... There are 5 floors to this dungeon. Oh, man. So we might get ourselves in a sitch where... I mean, I think I have an ether. Maybe I even have a tent. I don't know. If I can just get her more mana, we can... It's all about her healing mana. That's how long it's going to take us to last here. Alright, so we got this Gil. We need to walk up, over, and then loop around to get the 2 little baby packets of Gil now. Okay. This is our 3rd fight. And like, if we can fight stuff like this... this is not bad. It's really these freaking big stacks of Ankegs. They're hurting us more than anything else. We got a little bad luck here and there on, like, some fire mental hits or whatever. This is a really... I really think, I don't think the other floors are going to be as long. This is such a little maze where we're running around fighting all these mobs. See, that was fine. That fight was fine for our 3rd one. Okay, all right, let's double check. We want to go on the 2nd task. So we're going over here. Okay, so there is a fire elemental for our 4th fight here. So that's okay. 25 to our tank is that's a loss we can absorb. Cool. I mean, and then you get 750, like, we got more for fighting the actual elemental. Alright, let's read another paragraph in our story. Both Ultima and Wizardry were highly successful and have spawned numerous sequels and spin-offs, such as The Bard's Tale and Might and Magic. Both of those I played a lot more. I actually never played OG Bard's Tale, but I did play some of the later iterations of Bard's Tale, like way later, when PlayStation 2 level or whatever. But Might and Magic and the heroes, and more specifically the heroes of Might and Magic, is one of my favorite series of all time. Really great. Many of these early games are completely unplayable to modern gamers, featuring plenty of plot inconsistencies, in-jokes, pop cultural references abound in Ultima 2, irreverence, and shallow game design, but in their time, they were hugely successful. Ultima established itself as the dominant RPG series in North America, with Richard Garriott by this point referred to but almost exclusively by his nickname of Lord British, creating his own company Origin to publish the third game in the Ultima series in 1983. However, it was Wizardry that would cross the Pacific Ocean and establish itself as the dominant RPG series in Japan. In Japan, Wizardry had spawned an anime and numerous spin-offs and sequels that have not been released in North America. And notice we're at 1983. If you look at the spreadsheet I share, 1987 is what we're building up to. And it was by 1989 they were making manga and anime over this franchise. So that's what we're building up to. We're really just a few short... Oh, good. The second one did not have a associated trash mob. All right, so now we're going to work our way down to the major treasure chest room. Cool. This is the final treasure room. Fight 1. Nice. And I think we're 27 was that level, which... That's my lucky number. I love the number 27. I don't know why it appeals to me so much. It's just a nice... It's 3 to the power of 3. So there's something cool about that. Okay, so far we're getting better luck. Knock on wood. Here's fight 2. A fire hydra. We read about these when we read about the bestiary. Let's see how tough a single fire hydra is. About 75 life. So 300 damage is fine. I think we fought a sea hydra in the river. Alright, now we are in the treasure room. Okay, third fight here is it's guarded by a fire elemental tile. It's okay. Nice. Alright, so we have another mithril helm. Mithril gloves. I think everything mithril I have. Yeah. Okay. A high potion. A 10. That might help us. About 2,000 gil. Okay. So fight 4. A lava worm. Ho! Scared. Yeah, the defense is massive. Can't... 50 damage. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, good. Wasn't too bad, just very high defense. Like, if we had to kill more than one of those, that'd be tough. An antidote. 1,500 more gil. Okay, so we got about 3,000 money for that. Oh, that lava worm. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is a Blizzara Sitch because you need to kill these as fast as you can. He got me. Oh, no. Oof. They're not very strong, but that Blizzara Sitch. You just gotta kill him as fast as you can. Okay, so now she's gotta spend more rezzing. I mean, I could have used a Phoenix down while she has the mana, and it just... It's really unfortunate, like... Basically, we should... Oh. Like, I should save the second I know I'm gonna fight one of those guys. Okay, so her mana's getting low. I should have saved, actually, because that was our... Man, those guys suck. A mithril shield and a mithril axe. Let's see. That's already... So, we already had all those. And a phoenix down. Well, good, we need it. Alright, so, next paragraph. Meanwhile, the Famicom, which would later make its way to North America in the form of the Nintendo Entertainment System, was enjoying high sales figures and being established as a very lucrative market. Being that the Japanese had taken the lead in the revival of the video game console industry, and given the popularity of wizardry, it was only a matter of time before a uniquely Japanese console-based RPG would be released. This came in the form of Dragon Quest, released in 1986 by Enix, created by game design visionary Yuji Horii on a MSX computer, and featuring artwork by Dragon Ball artist Akira Toriyama. Dragon Quest was so successful that by Japanese law, new installments in the series can only be released on a Sunday to reduce truancy. That's crazy. Like the Ultima and Wizardry games of earlier years, Dragon Quest is prohibitively crude to modern gamers, but its popularity at the time made the video game industry take notice. And that's where the story of Final Fantasy begins. So really, it does stand on the shoulder of giants, and it is by no means the OG. However, it has lasted longer than all of those franchises, and it's still along today. So there is something to be said. Okay, now we have to leave. We've gotten all the treasures for this floor. Okay, here is fight 2, because the Pyrolist that killed me was our first one, technically. And we will fight 2 fire elementals. Okay. Not that bad. We did take a... Oh, Glee Khan! Back to leveling up. Now Gleeman's behind the times. 25 HP. He does more damage with his strength, and he's tougher. And better at running. Gleezy raised a level. 29 HP and 19 MP. She's also faster and better at hitting. Does more with her magic. Now my other 2 homeboys are behind the times. As we hit level 28 here. We need to go down. This is our 3rd fight. So we're going down to exit this hallway. I see what they mean now by saying, like, it might just be better for you to... Look at that. Look at those 2 good hits. 80 and 90 damage? What are these guys? Now Gleeman gains 7 HP, does more damage, better at running, and Gleebo has 2 HP but 20 MP, better with his magic, and we got an eye drops out of that whole affair. Okay, so we're taking the longer path, and oh no. I mean, if we really got unlucky. Okay. Thank goodness they did not go with their break attack. I don't know if they have an, And that was our 4th one. I'm going to go ahead and skip this round. We're going to do a... Okay. So we have made it... No. We don't want to be there. Dang it. Stairs are right there. Alright. Whew. Okay. We are in the 3rd floor now. Thank goodness. Alright. There are 2 distinct sections. When you arrive from the 2nd floor at B, you're in a narrow corridor. I see. So we have to kind of cross. Takes us to the next floor, C, which will bring us right here. Then we navigate our way down through the lava to D, which will bring us back up to here. And then we have to navigate around to E. No treasures on this. E will bring us over here where we're back in floor 4. To work on the treasures over there. So anyway, right now we just have to go to the right, to the stairs. That's our current thing. They also warn in the guide about the Pyrolisks at this point. They're like, you're going to start fighting them. Yeah, these are just... So we almost made it through the whole floor. We fighting a hellhound. That's cool. Okay, not too shabby. Okay, so that's fight 1 of this set. Alright, so now we are in, say, step 4 here. We need to make our way down and to the right to get to the next stairs. A lot of lava. Alright, let's check our life. How we doing? Okay, it's not that much. Ooh, I don't know why I made a second save state by accident. I'm gonna do that. I don't know how to, no. I don't know that we can get rid of the states like that. It's okay. Not really important. Alright, so we made it. Wait, where are we? Yeah, we made it down here. So now we're up here, so we need to go down, left, down, left. Got it. Down, left, down, left. Okay, so we made our way out of that. Now we gotta check our life again. It's not the best, but it's not, okay, so now we really are on floor 4. Alright, so we are fine. We're right here. We need to do the treasures. What's important here? Ultimately, we need to get to F. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 treasure rooms. All right, so the first one we're going to get is a bunch of gold and a gold needle. And we are going to get this chest. Okay, so this is a lava worm. This is fight 2. As we get weaker and weaker. Come on. No, they're not going to help us out. They don't have enough strength to overcome. Oh, it was a sneak attack. Thank goodness. Okay, so that means it was a free lava worm attack. Cool, gold needle. And we got more money. So, cool. Fight 2, we were all good. Oh, I hit... Alright, so now we're going to work our way down to this room, which is another pack of gold. Okay, this is fight 3, random encounter, another fire hydro. I don't know how dangerous they are. So far, we've been lucky. Oh, the one shot. Great. I'll take it. Cool. Okay, got some deal on that one. And now we're going to work our way back over to a big treasure chest room to the left. Let's look at our life. Oh, let's go ahead and heal. I feel like we're getting a little low here. I mean, honestly, she's getting low on life. I don't know what we're going to do. Okay. Alright, so in this room, there are 5 treasures. Let's see what we get. Antidote. That one has a fight. Okay, this is our 4th fight. At least it's just a couple hellhounds. They're not too bad. Okay, cool. That might not even have been a triggered fight. That might have just been... like, we got it. Alright, let's read another chest before... part. Alright, Square began in 1983. A division of the Denyusha software company. Their Famicom game development efforts began in 1985 with an undistinguished shooter called Fexter, and in 1986 a game called King's Knight was released. A confusing mix of platform, action, and RPG, King's Knight's poor sense of game controls destined it for failure. With this lack of success on the Famicom and dwindling finances, Square began to get desperate. They began experimenting with packing 3D glasses with their games. This can be seen in 3D World Runner, a fiendishly difficult and innovative action game, and Rad Racer, a well-done racing game. I actually had that game and I liked it. Square still faced the prospect of going out of business, and Hironobu Sakaguchi, director of planning and development, was faced with one last chance to save the company. Square had experimented with wizardry-style RPGs before on the Famicom Disk System, and the success of Dragon Quest made the prospect of developing a fantasy RPG game quite appealing. Sakaguchi decided that the possibly final project of Square would be a fantasy game, which is the source of the Final Fantasy name. Wow. And presumably the inherent contradiction in a game with final in the title, having numerous sequels. It's such an iconic game franchise that I don't even think about the words final and fantasy as having to do with anything. So the fact that it's called Final Fantasy because they were literally throwing a Hail Mary and it was potentially going to be their final game, and it's the fantasy genre, that's a little on the nose. To make a long story short, Final Fantasy was more commercially successful than Sakaguchi predicted. Just a smidge. An Ice Brand. There we go. That is a piece of gear that we have been wanting. A straight, big, solid upgrade for our main hero. And with fight number 1, we're going to break it in on a lava worm. Look at that thing. Ching ching. It has a cool... Ooh, he didn't like him. He's like, you're going to use the Ice Brand on me? Then I'm focusing my attention on you. But now we can kill this thing in one turn. Love it. Flame Shield. Let's do that too. The Flame Shield is a nice upgrade, and it's alive with the power of fire. I'm guessing... Well, I honestly don't know. So that was one fight. I don't know if that means it's strong against fire or weak or strong against ice. I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to make our way back to that junction. This time go down and right, and we're going to enter another... We've done half the treasures in this room. We're going to enter the next little phase. Okay, how's our life after that? Not the best, not the worst. All right, so this has another lava worm, so probably this is a triggered fight. Look at that. So this is fight 2. That stinks, though, that he had such a bad hit. And he paid for it. Pathetic. Pathetic, Gleekon. For, like, no gold. What? 155 and 10? Oh my gosh. So that was maybe fight 2? I'll call it fight 1. I don't even know. Alright, now we're going to go up to the top right for another treasure room. That treasure room was pathetic. We'll call this fight 3. Now this is an example of me being tempted to use magic, but I mean, we were fighting these guys last time, so I feel like I'll take a single hit from a Minotaur. Ooh, look, we snuck attack him. Nice. Okay. Oh, we have one empty chest. Fight 3. Fire Hydra's fine. Look at that. Beautiful. We got a red fang. 2,000 gil. And a cottage. Now... It says M. Oh, it's empty because that would be another spot for the Ice Brand. And we already got the Ice Brand. That's why. Alright, we're going to go for the last room now. Last lava room. Treasure room, I mean. Alright, so this is also the 4th fight. Nice, I'll take it. Yeah. Oh, man, he's crushing it now with that Ice Brand. Love it. take a pause there and look at another paragraph. The original Final Fantasy game would make its way to North America 3 years later, when Nintendo picked the game up and began marketing it very aggressively. At the time, American NES fans had few RPG options. So basically, I think 1990, which tracks because I would have been like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, which tracks why this is such an important franchise for me. The first NES RPG was a very poorly done port of Ultima 3, followed shortly by the Behind the Times Dragon Quest, released as Dragon Warrior. That's what started me on my gaming on RPGs. Outdated at the time it was released, Dragon Warrior was made moderately successful, but not a hit. Yeah, because the graphics were so terrible. And Nintendo was reduced to giving away copies of the game to sell subscriptions to its magazine Nintendo Power. That might also have been part of it, because I used to have a subscription to that. I loved it. Enix came to America to release Dragon Warrior 2, but were forced to censor portions of its storyline due to religious allusions by Nintendo, and with a relatively limited marketing campaign, failed to generate significant interest. I was interested. I loved Dragon Warrior 1, 2, 3, 4. For the NES, Final Fantasy was the first RPG that was both marketed well and had sufficient depth to capture players' imaginations, leading to it being far and away the most successful RPG in the console's history, in Nintendo console's history, yeah. I don't know what the deal with Zelda is. I guess Zelda doesn't technically classify as an RPG, right? Alright, here's fight 1. This is just a fire lizard. I don't think this is a real fight. Whoa! Hold your horses, buddy. Maybe it was a real one. Oh no! Yeah, these are triggered fights. And I'm gonna have to fight another one now. Because I mean, that one's free, luckily. I didn't open the chest. Yep. Okay, well, I'm not going to count this one. We'll call it still 2. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. If we can all go first, he's cooked. Just a regular staff. Oh, and man, this room was heavily guarded for having nothing. A little gold and a staff. Trash. Okay, we'll call it 3. Alright, we have now made it to the bottom floor. How we doing? We're getting a little... Is it the bottom floor even? Yes, thank gosh. Okay, so we just entered F, which is, I guess, the center. Okay, so A is the flame mail. B, C, and D are all going to have a soft. Oh, but we already got one before, right? Yeah. Gold needle. So because we already got a gold needle, they're going to be empty. Okay. You'll definitely want left. However, the remaining chambers are clear because they will just have one single soft. When you're ready, go bottom. So we need to go left for the male and then bottom left for the final boss. And then we'll be ready to fight the last boss. Or not the last boss, but you get what I'm saying. Alright, so we definitely want to go this direction for the famous male armor. There we go. Gotta fight 2 things for it, I guess. A red dragon! Ah! Okay, I'm casting Blizzara. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're healed up. I did not know that the red dragon was gonna do us like that now. That's crazy. I mean, we're very low on magic. Okay, so let's go over, and now I know that I've got to fight something potentially even stronger than the last boss. I gotta fight a fire lizard right here? Come on. You better give me a freebie here. Wait, I don't wanna... I'm gonna cheese that. I don't wanna have to deal with a blaze right before I fight the dragon when I'm down to 42 magic points. Okay. Alright, we're gonna save again. This is the emulating. There we go. You are earning this. Alright, those two can't really do anything. So now I gotta go null. I don't have null fire yet. Okay. I'm gonna straight up go Blizzaga. I don't have Blizzaga? Not available yet till the next level. Guess I'm going Blizzara. Okay. Oh! I just gotta hope to kill him in time, really. Thank goodness. Just hits like a... Oh. Okay, Glee Khan. 4 HP. He's tougher now. Glee Z. 5 HP, 17 MP. She's stronger, faster. Okay, so now we're gonna go... Oh, man. What's my girl gonna be able to do for us? She is running out of magic quickly. She has one use of cure left. Okay, we are going... I'm gonna get us right before the boss and we'll read another paragraph. That's fine. You wanna do 2 damage to me? Fine. I wish the dragon would have hit me. Okay. Glee Man is 7 HP, and he's stronger, faster, and tougher. Gleebo, 2 HP, 9 MP. So what are we? 20... Bro. At this point, fighting 4 Minotaurs is... You suck. There goes her... last... So what's going to happen here is she's going to end up being a user of items in the final fight. Dumb. They got a sneak attack on us. Man, we are like barely having the resources needed to get down to the bottom here. I mean, to be fair though, we were very thorough. Okay, a couple ogre mages, that's fine. I don't think we have exit either, so I don't know how the heck we get out of here. Oh, unless like the earth thing, maybe there'll be a portal out. That'd be great. Okay, so here's the final fight. So before we do that, and before we read about her... Oh. Did I... Yes, let's equip that. Man infused the power of ice, so it's just as strong as my mithril armor, but significantly higher invasion, and it's strong against fire. Alright, given this, it is often argued that Final Fantasy has been a more influential RPG series than Dragon Quest. While Dragon Quest has stuck mainly to its Dragon Ball roots in terms of aesthetics, Final Fantasy has shown more eclecticism, which has been reflected in its numerous descendants. The battle system, gameplay mechanics, and plot devices have been copied endlessly. Final Fantasy's most direct ancestor is most likely Ultima 3. Both broke new ground in allowing players to control multiple PCs, and both are relatively non-linear. Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, you control more than one. Final Fantasy, however, improved on Ultima 3 by offering a more streamlined battle system and a greater sense of structured questing. I mean, it does. The battle system with the characters lined up on one side, I feel like that's almost unique to it at this point. Final Fantasy has its weaknesses. The appearance of the Light Warriors to open the game is very poorly explained. There are a few annoying fetch quests. The game is poorly paced. Players spend much more time fighting in repetitive random battles than exploring and developing strategies, and has its share of bugs and game design shortcomings. There are supposed to be special weapons that have increased effects on different monsters, but this was not actually implemented. However, at the time, these kinds of issues appeared in almost all other RPGs. Moreover, Final Fantasy is different from most other console RPGs in its relative non-linearity. While most players would defeat Lich first, then Ciri, now called Marilith, before obtaining the airship and undergoing transformation, there's no reason why players could not also obtain the airship first and take on Kraken or Tiamat directly afterwards. Final Fantasy's influence continued as it has continued into today, when bringing its Romancing Saga series to the US, Square opted to market it under the name Final Fantasy Legend. The first successful RPG for the American Super NES was Final Fantasy IV, released as 2, and a Final Fantasy VI, released as 3 in North America, remains the favorite game of numerous RPGers, not to mention 7 and beyond. Square has re-released the original game multiple times, described below. Yeah, I mean, they're re-releasing Final Fantasy VII right now, just because that one was so popular. Alright, so now all we really have is Marilith here. It says she's not weak to ice, she's just not strong against it. She has about 1,500 life. She is vulnerable if we cast Silence on her. We do not have Null Blaze. Confuse and Sleep can also affect her. And we can boost the Ice Sword guy with haste. And we should be able to port outside. And now we can go back to Crescent Lake, thank goodness. Alright, good luck to us. Let's see if we can fight her. So you are the ones who defeated the Fiend of Earth and roused Marilith from her slumber. This is the crystal that we want? No, it's behind us. Yeah, hopefully we can get fire under control in this game. The power of the burning flame is mine and mine alone. Those who oppose me shall burn in hellfire. She looks cool. Alright, well, he's just gonna attack. He's just gonna attack. She has no items to use that are important for now. So I'm just gonna have her attack this turn. Meanwhile... What did it say? Did stun work on her? Confuse and Sleep. So I could try Sleep on her. That was good. Because it didn't really... Dang it! Okay, we maybe did... I'm gonna just keep trying that. For now. That's what I was hoping would not happen. And we don't have Null Blaze. If we fail this fight, I'm gonna go back and load. And, okay, so now she can start using potions. Let's try it again. If we can get her to sleep, I can start him doing it. There we go. And love it. Just gonna have her use potions, why not? Okay, yeah, just keep using it. She'll just start using potions on whoever's the lowest. Alright, so now we're gonna haste him. That's great. Look at that. And then if she ever... He's just so crucial. If she ever wakes up... Oh, she is back awake. Okay, she's blinded now. That doesn't matter at all. Love it. Oh, that one... Ugh. I don't think I've even necessarily hit the halfway point on his life yet. Okay. Alright, so now he's gonna go back to sleeping her. 14 hits for 22 damage. Yeah, back to sleep. Love it. And that was a good one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what else am I going to use these stupid potions on? Okay. Now let's raise temper. I was going to say, wait, hitting like that, he's going to kill her soon. Because that's like a quarter of her life. Great. Finally used some of our potions, too. Not that bad. It says on the Game Boy version, it glitches out and you can't see the crystal sometimes. I think our main character, the warrior, is the fire gem. Yay! We've restored 2 of the crystals of the world. Hooray! 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 Now you can see in the Hellfire Chasm, where this little elf is watching. Oh, you know what? I think that's the game. These are the Dawn of Souls dungeons that they're showing. They're open and now able to be fought. That's what it is. The ones we will go back and do at the end of the game. See, it doesn't show. It is glitched out because this is the PSP version. There was a glitch and that portal wasn't shown, but it is there. There you go. All right. So next is the quest called the airship. It's and if we read this little blurb, maybe it's from the manual, or maybe they just made this up. So we're kind of in the middle of the game. After we finish the airship, I'd say we're roughly halfway through the game. Not, of course, counting the end game, the side stuff. Before the water crystal shines again, the warriors of light will face challenges by air and by sea. They must prove to the Dragon King once and for all that they are true heroes by mastering the Citadel of Trials. Finally, they'll need to plunge deep into the sea and explore the sunken shrine. There they'll face the Kraken in battle and relight the crystal, but first, a new means of transportation must be discovered. Alright, so we're going to go back to Crescent Lake. We're going to talk to everybody there to see if they have new stuff to say. And they're going to tell us. We're going to rest up, all that good stuff. And they're going to tell us about the what? That's up there. They're going to tell us about the Levistone, which I think they already told us about it. That will be telling us where to find it. I think you find it to the north in the crystal. And there's an ice cave. So now that we've beaten fire, we will have to beat an ice cave. The ice cave is not related to the 4 crystals. What a lucky river sailing we just had. Not a single mob. Love it. Okay, we are limping back into town. I mean, I guess our life is okay. But, love it. Also, how we doing? We're level 29, so that's good. Remember, level 50 was the original... let's rest at the end. We already bought everything in this town that we can buy until we upgrade. We had 93,000 gil. So lots of money saved up. It's good because we're kind of... We're fighting in a harder area, and it's sort of working as grinding. Once anything above 50, though, we're gravy in terms of our level. So we are pretty good. Alright, so that had nothing for us. The item shop. We still have everything that we need for now. I mean, we still have enough, like, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, we don't need to buy anything from the shops, because we have all this stuff. What do you say? My husband This we already. That's not new. From before. What's this guy say? I've been after the Levistone for 10 years. The cave to the north looks promising, but I can't go. I'd never hear the end of it from my wife. What's up with this nagging back and forth husband-wife relations we have in this town? We needed some couples therapy over here in Crescent Lake. Alright, so that's it. That guy mentions the Levistone. Again, in your notebook, that's what you'd have to mark off. 12 sages are we? Yeah, okay. We read that one before. 4 great crystals. Uh-huh. Nothing new. Got it. We have... If you look at it, look, we got 2 of the 4. Defeat the fiends. Yep. Mm-hmm. The Fiend of Wind. Fiend of Water. So we need the 2 older ones in the north now. We already did the Fiend of Earth. We already beat her. Nobody's getting cast in the flame anymore. Okay, once all 4 are revealed, come back here. Yeah, cool. Power has to be turned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so next is water, which is 200 years in the past. I am Lucan. I see a cycle of wrath, a dim light guided by destiny, that about which our entire future revolves. So we have... So here's 2 things that we've learned. We've learned... Okay, so we know there's a map. You know that there is... Only thing that we really need... Like, if you try sailing here, you'll see you can't get... There are no... You can already see on the map, there's no ports. So there's no way to land your ship anywhere. Even this little area where there's rivers, you could maybe get off your boat and go into a river, but I don't even know if you can transition to that. But maybe you could do that. I'm pretty sure that's wind though, and this is water. So really what we're doing is, we know to get to the north, we would need to be able to somehow get ourselves there, and that one dude gives you the one small clue that that other cave that we haven't explored yet has the Levistone in it. So if we go to the ice cave, so let's look at our guide. All right, return to your boat. Sail for the dock to the north. Oh, okay. And then we need to row the canoe along that area till we get to this little cave. Ice on the floor here will damage you just like the lava, but there you won't have RNG encounters, and there are cockatrices, which is another version of it'll insta killing you. Okay, so there are some treasures. This takes you to A will take you to B over to C. So you're kind of going up and down. Once you're on C, we will be able to get the flame sword, which is very important, as well as the clothes. So we'll have to find another means of reaching that, which is the Levistone. I don't know exactly how you do it. Okay, so let's get to the ice cavern. Go from there. I think we can do this dungeon today too. Might be about as far as we can take it, but I think we're good on this. All right, so these guys are tough. Okay, I was able to take that croc down. Ochu and Hydra down, so now Ochu, I believe that Ochu was able to poison us before. This is fight 2, only out in the open world. Nice. That sword is great. Good money. Oh, crap, I forgot we're supposed to take the boat up to the other That stinks. This is the third fight. So some unnecessary... Yeah, he's a strong one. Oof. I mean, whatever. I'll take the extra XP. Ooh, man, look at that. Freaking 150 damage she's taken in one turn. Unnecessary. Alright, so I forgot we need to go back to our boat. Where's that boat at? Oh, it's way over there. At least we don't have to walk around now. We can take our little canoe right across that spot. And Ankh eggs? Jeez. They're worth considering, like... Why are they all going for her? It's terrible. Yeah, with his higher evasion now, with his flame mail, that's pretty good. He'd just be decked in some greatness. Look at that shield, too. He's becoming a regular warrior right now. He's got all this elemental armor on. Flame mail, flame shield, Icebrand sword. Why is the Icebrand sword inside the fire volcano? Don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell. Okay, let's use Poisana. Alright, when we get to the boat here, I will... The Hill Gigases are back. We'll do a little bit of reading about the... It's kind of going to be a review, because we've already looked at the release history of Final Fantasy 1. So I think maybe we'll just skim through it before we go. Alright, so we are back, ready to sail to the north here. Alright, so the release history, it's been remade several times, frequently packaged with Final Fantasy II as a collection. Various tweaks have been made. So the first release was for the MSX2, published by Micro Cabin in June of 1989, before it ever hit US shores. Tripled the storage space, but it had new problems like loading times. We already talked about this. The trade-off was slightly better graphics, music, and sounds. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Combo, in 1994, they released a compilation of it together for Famicom, only in Japan, with a couple graphical tweaks. The Wondrous 1 Color remake was dropped in December 9th of 2009 and featured many new graphical changes. The 8-bit graphics were updated, because Wondrous 1 Color is, I think it's 16-bit. Battle scenes had now had background images. Cool. So there was no background before. Character and enemy sprites were redrawn to look more like other Super Nintendo versions of Final Fantasy that had since dropped. Final Fantasy Origins was released in 2002 in Japan as the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Premium package, and everywhere else in 2003 as Origins. It was similar to the Wondrous 1 Color remake, but it had more detailed graphics, remix sounds, full motion video sequences, and art galleries with Yoshitaka Amano's illustrations. And the Dawn of Souls, which is basically the version we're playing right now, is a port for Game Boy Advanced. It also has the 4 additional dungeons, a bestiary, and a couple little tweaks that we talked about previously. Square Enix released a version for mobile phones in 2004 under the title Final Fantasy I, along with a third network release in 2006. They are better graphically than the 8-bit games, but not as advanced as the other 16-bit ones. This is the version I had probably played most recently before this that we're playing right now. A few years back, I played it on my phone. It happened in 2010. When they released it on the phones, I played that. Not right away, but I did have it played a few years ago. And then Final Fantasy Anniversary Edition, for the 20th anniversary, they remade Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the PSP, which is the version we're playing right now. Graphics were updated, higher res full motion video sequences, new soundtrack. You get to keep all the dungeons from Dawn of Souls, and there's another new dungeon at the very end. Other than that, it's the same. And then the Wii Virtual Console had a release in 2009, which was actually just the NES version. And then in 2010, the iOS version based on the PSP port that you could play on your phone. So a PSP version of what we're playing right now is available. And that doesn't even touch the Pixel Remaster, which is what's actually considered by many to be the coolest, most definitive edition that people like to play. Alright, so you can go right from boat to canoe, which is what we're doing now. A Neo-Chew. Die, Neo-Chew, die. Alright, let's get to the ice cave, and then we'll talk secrets. Let's look at our other map, so I can, without having to go too far. It doesn't matter if we go left or right, but right is going to be a pinch closer. We're going up and then wrapping around. Okay, doesn't matter. Up takes you to a dead end. Neo-Chew Fight 2. Die, Neo-Chew. I don't think that they're... Oh, 110 damage, you suck. I don't think they're weak against ice. I just think that the fact that you're hitting with some elemental damage allows you to supersede straight physical resistance. Okay, here we need to go left. You would just be fighting... You could land there on an airship. I think that's actually the point of that. If you wanted to, like, skip the boat, you could land the airship and then take your canoe if you wanted to come back and revisit the ice cave. I think that's my... And it would be a slightly shorter sail. So if you ever wanted to come back here. Alright, so we have now made it to the dry land, where there are the OG tarantulas. And as we learned when we were reading the bestiary, these are actually more poisonous than the Black Widows in the Final Fantasy universe. I don't think that applies to real life. I was always under the assumption that tarantulas weren't even poisonous. I thought they just kind of like brute forced their way to killing. But I'm not a spider expert. So, 100%. Oh, look, it doesn't even have, like, evil music. Alright, so now we're in the ice cavern. See, that's darked out because you can't go there quite yet. Alright, first let's look at the... So first of all, you can get a world map. We already discovered this from Matoya's Cave. The sliding puzzle game, we actually already played that. We did not play it until we got a 10,000 guild win. It doesn't matter. We talked about the Power Peninsula. It was such a popular bug that where there's one tiny corner of Provoca where the enemies from Lufenia spawn, which allows you to power level early in the game. And it was so popular, they kept it. And then finally, the Hall of Giants. It is a loop on the left side of the first floor of the Terror Cave, where the giants are the same power as the other enemies. I think it's like these hill gigases. In that hall, you fight only the giants. They take a lot of damage. So basically, it's just another, hey, you can level on hill gigases if you prefer. It's whatever. We did not do those because I don't really care. Those are the only secrets of the game. There's two other things that we are going to discuss before we get into saving ourselves for, because if you look at this, I mean, that's fine. The actual like expansion parts, there's trivia, which we'll talk about, and then there's an achievement trophy section, and then that's pretty much it. That's all we need to do. The history was the most important part. All right, so a cave-in has blocked this off. We can't get there yet. we are going to need to do our best. We need to just make our way to Stairway A for now. Just understand that the mobs are strong. This is not the hurting ice kind of floor, so we're just going to keep in mind that mobs are here. 5 Pisco Demons. So here's where maybe we want to use Fyra. Ow. I mean, these guys, we've been fighting for a while. Like, pretty soon, these are just going to be regular mobs. Okay, whatever. I don't know that we saved much. What kind of trash was that? So these guys are not weak against fire. They might not even be weak against magic. What are they weak against? Lightning, maybe? Stupid. Okay, here's fight 2 in the cave. Oh my gosh. Okay, Fyra is 100% what we gotta come out with these guys. Do not break us. Thank gosh. Ooh. Gleekon gained 4 HP. He's stronger and will be better at magic as a ninja and luckier. Gleezy gains 5 HP and 7 MP. She's tougher. Alright, we made it down to the 2nd floor. Okay, the first time this was on floor A. It looks like you have a big decision, but it's just a loop. Still no treasure yet. And it will take us down to the next floor. So that's where we're going right now. The loop doesn't matter. I think we can just fight these guys. I'm not going to worry about firing them. I think these are the ones that just dark. I think maybe the specters can... Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're not doing very much damage compared to what we're used to, so... I'm just... Oh, you suck. Okay, so they can still paralyze. If they paralyze my rogue, then... Yeah, we managed to kill 1 because they paralyze. Okay, we got a 2nd one done. Got a 3rd one. Wake up, buddy. Okay, so we got this, what I think are the stronger ones done. Okay. Maybe these guys are stronger. Maybe Wraiths are stronger than Spectres. Because 20 damage is not nothing. Just stays paralyzed forever. Nice. Okay, so this game does suck. Although I don't think it is noticeably worse. Strong. Oh, now he's paralyzed. She only hit once? Gleeman now gained 29 HP, and he's stronger and will be better at magic when he becomes a paladin. And he's luckier. And Gleebo gained 2 HP and 20 MP, and he's faster, and his magic is more effective, and he's tougher, and luckier. Ooh, we gained a Crozier? I think that's like a monk staff. Yeah, he can't even use it. I think he can use it. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be like a Karate Man staff. Let's use some magic for her. Fine. She got, look at her, 472 life. Homegirl is ripped. She has more than double the life of the Black Mage. The Black Mage's magic is so trash. All right, let's read the first part here. So the game borrows heavily from the Dungeons and Dragons as an influence. The list of monsters and their attacks are nearly identical to the original Dungeons and Dragons bestiary. 5 of the character classes are the same. Fighter, Monk, Thief, White Wizard, which was Cleric, Black Wizard, which was Magic User. The magic system is similar with many analogous spells and the same level-based spell charge system. In all releases, you can obtain a world map by pressing B and select. This is a hint given to you early in Matoya's cave. Yeah, I mean, take what the brooms have to say and spell it backwards. Fire, earth, air, and water are the classical elements which are believed by the ancient Greeks to be the constituents of the universe. However, the concept of classical elements likely began earlier, and a 5th element, ether, was later added to describe stellar objects. The Hindus also have a similar concept of elements. Okay. Cool. Thanks for the life lesson, or thanks for the knowledge bomb there, guys. Alright, so if you notice, it says, this is a tiny little floor, immediately takes you back to C. Yeah, nothing to do. Alright, now this one, when you make it down to the bottom of the floor and up into the chamber, you'll notice 3 treasure chests and a floor with a bunch of holes. You step onto any one of these holes, you fall down at the top of this map. Out of the 3, you can get the 2, the flame sword and clothes. The clothes are defended by dark wizards who can insta-kill you. The 3rd chest you can't get to yet because of the pits. So get the 2 chests, then fall down, and that will take us back to 3B. Okay, so we need to wrap her into this room, which has some treasure in it. Wait, what? Okay, now I changed my mind. After the way these guys did me last time, I am firing them. Oh my gosh, they're so annoying. Okay, we got 1. There you go. Got 2. I guess I'd have to look at the bestiary and see which ones are stronger, because I don't know. There you go. They're dead. Nice. Okay, are those cracks? Yeah, the cracks are what make you fall. An ice gigas. Yeah. Die, Ice Gigas. That was my 2nd fight. What? 2 fights? Ah. This might be that dark wizard they were talking about. Ooh, his defense is high. Thank goodness. Luckily, we just fought 1. Okay, that was the clothes. So that Ice Gigas was just a... Yes, we got the flame sword. Okay, it's actually worse than the ice brand. So we're gonna give it to the... What? He can't use it? What? Can he use the ice brand? No. Lame. I'm gonna wait and see. Do I need to? Because yes, I'm sure it's better against these ice crystal creatures, but it's not better right now. All right, so wait. This drops me now into this. All right, we need to eventually make our way to staircase D, but there are 2 treasure chest areas. This first one has mithril gloves and ice armor, so let's go get that first. This should be our 4th fight. These guys stink. Why? I hate it when they... That's like almost 200 damage done against him. Ridiculous. Oh. They just beat up on my dudes. They gave my dude his very own podcast. This is still, all things being said, significantly easier than the ice cave. Okay. He doesn't even need it yet. They're not even attacking him. They beat the crap out of my thief. He's taken a couple hits. Alright, what else do we have here? Bugs. The Nintendo Power Strategy Guide stated that certain weapons did additional damage to certain enemies, such as the Coral Sword versus water. In actual gameplay, it is a bug that made all enemies weak against nothing. However, they have fixed that in the version we're playing. Certain spells don't do anything, such as Temper, Saber, and Lock. And Lock 2 actually reversed it and used to make the enemies harder to hit. And due to a programming glitch, originally there was one of the NPCs in Cornelia Castle was invisible. Neat. All right. So here is this damaging ice. Oh no. I'm gonna go ahead and use fire again. We gotta fight these guys twice. No! Oh. These guys are really sucking. See, look, that's fine. What do I need to freaking... I gotta fight those guys twice, too. Terrible. Poor Black Mage. He really took a beating on that one. I mean, we all did. Alright, that was the ice armor. Mithril gloves we don't need. Should I wear ice armor? It's the same, and since right now... I guess I'm gonna wear it. Can he wear fire armor? No. And I already have those mithril gloves. But I gotta fight twice. At least it's just one this time. No! Why? But he only took half damage from that now. So the ice armor is nice right now. Trash. I feel like this is a short enough dungeon that I'm not as scared about the pushing. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, now what? We do need to go down to this treasure. So we have to go straight down as far as we can. And that's just going to give us a ton of gold. Yeah. Overflowing with Gil, and then we can leave. Up and to the right. Dang it. Ugh. Oh, man. Okay, oh no, we have to fight 3 Dark Wizards to even get here? I'm gonna go with it. Fire Aga. Maybe they'll be weak against fire magic. Boom. Yes. That was worth it. Oh. Okay, a bunch of winter wolves. I think these winter wolves can do some kind of stupid... That. Okay, it's a weak version at least. No! Don't do that! I cannot survive another one of those. Terrible. Those guys suck. Okay. Here she is again with her I mean, she has more magic because we've leveled up a few times since then. That's good. So, helping the team. She's only just now halfway. 180. 12,000 gil. Another 55. Whoa. That was like 45,000 gil. Crazy. Alright, now we can leave this stupid place. Well, not leave the whole place, but... Alright. We are now in the Cavern of Ice B1. Okay, this takes us to D. Right? Yes, so we will be able to leave and get a chest, which is an ether. Walk around and get another chest of gil. Okay, let's see. You arrive. There are a couple chests to examine. Is the pit just below the set. If you have plenty of health and are prepared for a big fight, jump in. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay. Oh, by the way, let's look at the last thing here, the media. Nintendo Power ran a contest in which the object was to obtain a photograph of a battle screen on which Warmech was shown. Warmech is an enemy that appears randomly and very rarely along the long bridge leading to Tiamat and the Flying Fortress. It's believed that Warmech started the tradition of placing very difficult but optional enemies toward the end of Final Fantasy games. Aralon the Dancer, the price of the Power Staff, and the Tombstone of Erdrick are intended to be answers to questions in a sort of scavenger hunt contest by Nintendo Power that appeared shortly after Final Fantasy came out in the US. Oh. Erdrick is the hero of legend in the Dragon Quest series, the main competition at the time of the Final Fantasy series. In the Dawn of Souls versions, Link from Legend of Zelda was named. So I don't know if they were paying homage or if they were like, we're slaying you with this game. Was it a brag? I don't know. The humor website SeanBaby.com named the Vox spell as one of the most useless power-ups in video game history, along with classics as the Feather from Mylan's Secret Castle and the Cloak of Invisibility from Wizards and Warriors. Contrary to what is implied by the article, there are enemies that use the mute spell in the game, but they're so rare as to make an anti-mute spell useless. Also, you would have to hope that they didn't mute your character. Alright, so the only other thing we need to review, and then which we'll do today just so we can get this tab off of my thing, is to look at the various achievements of the game. We'll do that in a minute. Alright, so again, we're going to loop around and get this ether right below us first. Okay. Perfect. And then we're leaving that room. Wait a minute, what was down there? Oh, there is a chest, but it has to be gotten by going this way. Okay, since there's only two, this time we're gonna fight. Why are we so weak already? It's not fair. This cave is buns. And no guard on that. Okay. That was supposed to be 10,000 gil, but it was really 1,000. So that's bogus. All right, we're going to go into here and get the chests. And oh, I see. We can get the ice shield chest. Wait. Okay. So you can leave right now if you want. Or you can do what you came here for. Blood Bones. Let's go ahead and cast Fire Up. Why not? I mean, I think we're getting pretty dang close to the end. So, let's go for it. Ow. So this is pretty good. We made really great progress today. We completed the second crystal, and we're gonna get the whole ice cave done too. Okay, 9,500. And then, oops, that was a waste. It's really him. I guess just he took life. Sleeping bag. Oh yeah, and the ice shield. All right, now we're gonna save it. So if we fall down that hole, that will bring us back to 2B, which is where we can get this Levistone, which is what we want. But it's going to make us fight the boss of this cave, which is the Evil Eye. He only has 806... No, that's his XP. He has 162 life, which is not a lot. But he's going to hit us with a bajillion spells. So just go as quick as possible. As many strong hits of physical. And if he gets us... they are saying this is a great... It used to be worth 3,000 XP. It's like if you're doing a challenge run, like a solo run, this is a great opportunity to hit max level in just a few minutes. Once you've defeated him, get the Levistone, used to be called the Floater, fall through the cracks, retrace our steps, and this time take the stairs to exit, because we don't have, and go back to Crescent Lake once more to heal up. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're going to attack, 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 and we're going to use haste on my main dude. Look at that. One hit kill. See, that's why you would go after him. 3,000 gil. I guess the 800 XP, though, he's been nerfed, so you can't do that. We got a Levistone. Cool. But unfortunately, now we have to retrace our steps and get out of here. So we have nothing. We just have regular mobs to get through. We're going to get out of here and we're going to go back to Crescent City and heal up. I don't know if... Okay, so I have to go... We're back up here now. Yeah, we're going to go down and then squirt our way to the right. Okay. Because we have to retrace our steps. This time we have to go to the... This time I don't need to fight. We have to go back to where we just were, but this time we're going to go up the stairs, because that's the exit. Okay. I mean, these two caves also are great because it's given us our first real powerful swords, as well as some good elemental resistance armor and shield. Oh, you know what? I forgot to even equip the... Ice shield is the same. So I guess I'll wear that, so I'll have a full ice set. But actually, you know what? Once I get out of this cave, it's probably better. The flame shield and flame mail are probably better. Now, I don't think he can wear them yet, but I think when he becomes a ninja, he can. Do I go? No. So those shields will be beneficial later on. Okay. A Mind Flare? What the heck is this? Thank goodness. What the hell was that? You just randomly find a Mind Flare? Uncool, bro. Okay. I think we're... Yeah, we're trying to go up here. Up and over. There we go. Okay, we made our way out of the dungeon, and now we need to go back to our canoe and get back to our boat, and then go back to Crescent City. whatever it's called, Crescent Lake. And then rest up. Before I gotta look at the map on this one again also. Up, but not out. Okay. Canoe time. Oh. The right. There we go. Love it. And now we are sailing back to Crescent City for a night. Sahagan! You guys are nothing to us now. I think we might be level 31, somewhere around there. His little buckler. It works on a Sahagan. Yeah, this is right about where I wanted to finish today, but I was willing to go a little over, so I'm on the fence. I might try to, just so we can get the actual airship, might try to get us that, just to finish this section, because we're so close to getting it. So close. I mean, it's cool that we have the Levistone. One Ankeg. And that will allow us to really... I don't know that you fight when you're in the air on the airship. I think there's no battles. Come on. Come on, bruh. The crazy trolls. Yeah, so I'm back in the office today. You'll notice we're back to the later record schedule. I had to work like a peasant again today. I gotta say, it was hard working from home for a couple weeks. Like, I really was questioning my life. Going into work today, I was like, oh my gosh, isn't there a way I can work from home forever? And, or like, maybe not forever, but it's definitely something I think, as I've talked about Chronicled on the Lore of Warcraft show, I had a lot of opportunities I didn't capitalize on if I want to take responsibility for my own disappointing... Oh, are we even supposed to be coming out here? Let me go back. We did restore, but I don't know if we have to talk to those sages or not. Or if we just go. What do we do with this Levistone? Because we got it now. Alright, since the fall of the great civilization, they've kept a secret. We know that it's in the desert. Sail south to the desert. What? Oh, that right there. Oh, and now that we have the canoe, we can get off like right there. Ah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well then, yeah, it's super quick. We're definitely going to go get the airship, and we'll go land wherever we need to land to get, Oh, and you know what? We didn't look at the achievements either, so right before we get the airship, or right as we get it before we go to our last spot, we will, we'll look at the achievements. There are no achievements in the version of the game we're playing. But... Oh, look, Glee Khan gained a level, 4 HP. He's faster. He will be smarter as a ninja. He's tougher. Gleezy gained 6 AP and 18 MP. She's stronger, faster. Alright, so we definitely need like one more fight. Which we can get some in the ocean here, or maybe the desert. To get our other two boys. Oh, these guys. They are weak, but they have that the gaze spell. 300 damage. Why not? Oh, there you go. Gleebo gained 3 HP and 9 magic points, as well as he's stronger, faster, and luckier. He was so close. Now the gap is so small. The gap is going to be bigger for... Alright, so here is the desert. Yeah, these trolls should be sufficient to get our homeboy, Gleeman, caught up. Nice. Just such an upgrade. Yep. 7 HP. He's faster. By the way, yeah, now we are level 31. Just great. Okay, so you go to the desert. Oh, just walk in there. We nod. Sensei. We get a cool... This is an example of the full motion cutscenes that are made available. Excellent. This is the kind of graphics that my young self grew up with. You know, I played Nintendo a lot, but I mean, my middle school years, they were formed in the 16-bit era. So these are the kind of things that just blew me away. Airship? What, bro? You obtained an airship. I don't know if airships existed in other RPGs, but that iconic element of Final Fantasy is also just great. So now we can go ride this airship. Now that's different too. Having the new music, having the 3.5D. Alright, so the trials is what we're going to do now. So what are the achievements you could get if you play this on PlayStation or your phone or whatever? Let's go in order of difficulty. So bronze, if you defeat 100 monsters, you get Apprentice Warrior. If you get 10% of the monsters in the game, you get Field Research Basic. If you get 10,000 total gil, we've blown past that. You get Thrifty Spender. If you get 10% of the chests in the game, you get Rookie Treasure Hunter. And secretly, almost all of the secrets are bronze. When you save Princess Sarah by defeating Garland, you get a hero's journey. Did it. When you restore the Earth Crystal's light, you get Earth's blessing. We did it. When you restore the Fire Crystal's light, you get Rekindled Flame. Did it. When we restore the Water Crystal's light, we will get Revitalizing Waters. When we restore the Wind Crystal's light, we will get Wind's Caress. And when we gain Titles of Courage from Bahamut, which is what we're going to do next on the very next episode, when we gain our upgraded classes, you get Token of Courage. And when you... Okay, so now for the silver ones, if you play the 15 puzzle game, you get the Hidden Game Trophy. We did that. If you defeat 300 monsters, I'm sure we've done that by now, you get Experienced Warrior. If you get at least 50% of the Bestiary entries, you get Field Research Advanced. I think we're there already as well. If you can get at least 50,000 gil, we've blown past that. You get Smart Saver. If you get at least half the treasure chests in the game, which we've got to be getting close to that, you gain Veteran Treasure Hunter. And if you defeat the final boss and restore peace to the world chaos, you get Prophecy Foretold. And there are some gold quests as well. If you get Excalibur, you get the achievement Sword of Myth. That's one of the last things you can get. If you get level 50 with everyone, you get Seasoned Hero. Now 99 is the cap that we will be going for. But I don't care if we get to cap or not. It's just... that will just be something we keep our eye on. When you defeat 500 monsters, I'm sure we've blown past that. You'll get Legendary Warrior. If you can find every monster in the game, that would probably be the hardest actual achievement to get. You get Professional Field Research. I don't really care if we get that for this game, because we could just look up the bestiary. We don't have achievements anyway. If you can get 100,000 gil, we already have more than that. I think we have 100,000 right now. You get money bags. If you get every single treasure chest in the game, you get Legendary Treasure Hunter. And if you get every single map, like little blinking bullet point in the game, you get Adventurous Wayfarer. And those are all the secrets. There's a full guide for Final Fantasy II, which Final Fantasy II is the next game we're going to play in the series. We're just going to keep this guide rolling when we get there. And then when you play Final Fantasy Origins, there are new features called collections. These just tell us the different items and chests you can get. There's also an art gallery once you get the bestiary, and a photo gallery that you get when you unlock the game, those are things that we will not actually look at. I don't even care. We're not even going to look at the bestiary until we go back to the compilations on my sheet right here. So for instance, later on, like if you look at Final Fantasy Collection, or more importantly, Final Fantasy Chronicles, these things, when they unlock it, whichever ones unlock the bestiary, that's when we'll pause. We're not going to play the game. That's why they're grayed out. But we are going to go through and look at additional like art content and stuff like that. Things you can easily look up. Okay, that one's now done. All right, now that we're aboard the airship, the light warriors move quickly to new lands and adventures. Before them lies a great challenge. The first step is a chain of green islands. Here in the Cardia Islands is the home of Bahamut's dragons. Bahamut the king can bestow a great gift, but first you must prove your courage. So actually, this is the island. We're going here next. That's the final. I actually think, I'm trying to remember where the final cave is at. It's not here. Maybe you have to go here and then you come back, because I think the final map is like right there or something. I don't remember. Alright, so there are 6 entrances to the dragon caves located on these islands. So that's actually where we want to go. The Cardia Islands right here. This is the home of the dragons of Cardia. They're friendly. We can get lots of treasures. So all we're going to really do is go there. Just to explore, because why the heck not? So we're going to go to the... Now the Citadel of Trials. Gaia... I want to see if we visit Gaia later. Yeah, we will. So I'm not going to pre-visit Gaia. We're just going to go ahead and do the Citadel of Trials. I don't care. I feel like we're strong enough. I'm going to try it, and I want to get here as fast as we can to be able to upgrade our character classes, because that will be fun. Then we're going to fly around and go back and get all the spells that we have to get, which that'll be cool too. Alright, so we're just going to go land on the exterior of these islands. So as we sail around the world, and we should be able to land near almost all of the towns we've covered so far. Here comes the point. Where are we at? Oh, we're still not above main company yet. Okay. Oh yeah, we got a lot of work to do. A lot of flying to do. I think that's the Citadel of Trials. Okay. Alright, so we're looking for... Alright, here's the first dragon cave. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Seventh. Is this one the most... Yeah, this is the one I want to go to first. Oh, I guess we can only land here. Alright, and this is where we will start on the next time that we play. So that's pretty cool. We finished all of the, information about the game, so things will speed up even more as they've already started to snowball. Next time, we're going to easily defeat the trials, and there's a pretty solid chance, let's see, just as we look ahead, we'll explore Gaia, we will have to go around and get some magic, and then there's a moderate chance that we're going to have to grind out gold again. Because if you look at it, these spells are crazy expensive. And there's really expensive gil too. So there is going to be some grinding. Not to mention then there's the secondary town of Onrak. We're going to have to go there as well. So there is going to be... That just has magic, but still. So there is some serious spells we're going to have to do. Not to mention we're going to have to visit the caravan... just to talk to it. And that's all before the Sunken Shrine. I don't remember what the point of the Sunken Shrine is what eventually takes you to the Kraken. So most likely next episode we're gonna upgrade ourselves, fly around and get the magic. If you just look at our magic right now, we are at 200,000 gil. So it's kind of prepping us. So the Cat's Claws weapon is 50,000 of that gil. Ruby armlets and protect rings. Most likely we're going to have to buy a few of those. So we're going to be looking at somewhere around 50,000 gil for that. So that's about half of our money. And Kuraja, Diaja, and then Healog got Null Death. I don't think Null Death really matters. So that's 60k and that's 60k. So we're going to have to grind 20,000 just to get to level 7. And then not to mention we have more level 8 black magic. We'll actually have to fly over here to just get the last whichever one of these we want. Whether it's Saber, probably Saber. Blind's probably idiotic to have. And then, not to mention going back and there's some magic we're gonna have to buy before that. So there'll be a little bit of grinding. Really, what's gonna hurt us is the level 8 grind for these. I'm trying to see where the other level 8 black magic is. Final Fantasy 1 level 8 magic list. Yeah. The final spells, Full Life and Flare. So we do want to save a spot. So for instance, Null All. I don't think we really need that. Holy and Dispel are probably pretty nice. I'm not sure if I'd rather have Null All or not. Stop, Warp, and Kill. Warp is for sure. I want that. Probably Stop. I don't care about Kill, actually. Stop and Warp. And then when we get to the other... I see, there's only... Oh, then, yeah, for her, she can get Healaga. And then probably Saber. He can get Blizzaga and Break. Kuraja, Diaja. Null Death, I don't care about. Yeah. Alright, so that's what we'll do. So we'll have some grinding, but really not like an insane amount of grinding. But I think it will be worthwhile to grind so that we can spend some more time leveling up, because we're only level 31. And we're getting closer and closer. There's going to need to be some grind to get us around level 50, or else it's going to be very hard. The game is hard enough at level 50, but I mean, we are going to go over. I guess we don't really have to worry about it, because there will come a point when we're going into the other dungeons for the expansion. So we're gonna surpass level 50 anyway. All right, everybody. I thank you so much for watching, listening, and tuning in to this weekly installment of Lore of Final Fantasy. I always have a great time doing it, and yeah, I'd say we are halfway through the game, not counting the little expansion content. So if you count that, we're probably like 50%, 40% of the way through the time that we'll spend on this. But we've also finished all of the spreadsheets and everything. So, I mean, not spreadsheets, the walkthrough. So we're 10 episodes in with this, I think, today. And let me scroll down and look and see where we were a week ago. Yeah, we're 10 in. So I'd say within 10 more, we'll probably be done. So within 10 more weeks, since we only do this once a week, which is cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, listening, tuning in. This episode's in the pipe, 5x5.